Every day, millions of people use English at work. They join meetings, they write messages, they answer emails, they talk on calls. But the English used in real workplaces is very different from textbook English. It is simpler, shorter, more indirect, more polite, more flexible. This session focuses on everyday workplace English, the kind people actually use when communicating with colleagues, clients, and teams. This is not business theory. This is daily language. Workplace English is not about sounding smart. It is about sounding clear, calm, and cooperative. Let's start with meetings. In meetings, people rarely speak in long sentences. They use short phrases. They say, "I think this makes sense. I'm not sure about that. Can we revisit this later? That's a good point. I agree with that." Notice the tone. Nothing is aggressive. Nothing is absolute. People soften their language. Instead of saying, "This is wrong," they say, "I'm not sure this will work. I have some concerns. I see it a bit differently." This is very important. Workplace English often avoids direct confrontation. Now listen to how people express opinions. They say, "From my perspective, in my experience, I feel like this might." These phrases protect relationships. They give space. Now think about questions. In meetings, questions are polite and indirect. People say, "Could you explain that a bit more? Do you mind clarifying? Can you walk us through this?" They rarely say, "Why is this like that?" Instead, they soften the request. This is everyday professional English. Now let's talk about agreement and disagreement. Agreement is easy. People say, "That works for me. I'm on the same page. I think that's reasonable." Disagreement is careful. People say, "I'm not fully convinced. I see your point, but I might be missing something, but..." These phrases slow the conversation and reduce tension. Now let's move to messages and chat. Workplace messages are usually short, very short. People say, "Hi, quick question. Just checking in. Thanks for the update. Sounds good. Let me know." This is real English. No long sentences, no formal grammar. Tone matters more than structure. Now notice how people ask for things. They say, "Could you take a look? When you have a moment. Would you mind helping with this?" These phrases are polite and flexible. They don't sound demanding. Now notice deadlines. People rarely say, "Do this now." They say, "By the end of the day, when possible. By tomorrow if that works." This leaves space. Now let's talk about calls. On calls, people speak even more simply. They say, "Can you hear me? You might be on mute. I'll share my screen. There's a bit of lag." These phrases are universal now. You hear them everywhere. Now think about misunderstanding. People don't say, "You're wrong." They say, "I think there might be some confusion. Let me clarify," just to make sure we're aligned. These phrases repair communication. Now let's talk about follow-ups. After meetings, people say, "I'll follow up with an email. I'll send a summary. Let's circle back later." These phrases appear constantly. Circle back means talk again later. Follow up means continue. Now let's talk about problems. People rarely say, "This is a problem." They say, "This could be challenging. We might run into issues. This needs some adjustment." Again, notice the softness. Now let's talk about responsibility. People say, "I'll take care of that. I'll look into it. I'll get back to you." These phrases are very common. They buy time. They reduce pressure. Now listen to how people close conversations. They say, "Thanks for your time. Appreciate the update. Let's keep in touch." Simple, professional, human. Workplace English is not about perfect grammar. It is about cooperation. It is about making others feel comfortable. It is about clarity without pressure. Now notice something important.
Most of this language is reusable. You don't need new words every day. You need familiar phrases used confidently. That confidence comes from recognition. The more you hear these phrases, the easier they come out. You stop translating. You start responding. That is how workplace English grows, not through study, through exposure. This session is about recognizing patterns. You already hear this English around you. You were just giving it attention. In future sessions, we can explore email English, feedback language, presentation English, workplace small talk. For today, listening is enough. Let the language settle.